Always a sense of anticipation for the first game of the season. We come to you live from CUA Stadium. The Penrith Panthers taking on the Canberra Raiders in what promises to be a very entertaining game of rugby league. Plenty of Canberra fans have made the trip from the nation's capital, and the Penrith faithful are here in numbers again. And as we have a look at the Canberra Raiders fans, there are thousands upon them on the hill, and they'll be hoping their side can get away to a great start in 2010. They will have to do it, though, with the loss of a couple of players through injury who aren't playing tonight. They've also decided that Troy Thompson won't be a part of the 17. Sean Fenson will start on the interchange bench in 18. A couple of new faces there. Alan Tongue, I should say, is the captain. And the coach, of course, is David Furner. A short time ago, Matt Adamson caught up with him.
A very strong Panther team on paper, but always been a bit renowned for having a bit of a mental problem. Where do you see their weakness today?
Look, I mean, they've had great trial form, so I wouldn't say there's a weakness. I think for us it's about what we need to do. So not concentrating too much on Penrith. It's more about the Raiders and getting through our sets and playing them out of their end.
Does that mean you'll take them on up the middle?
We'll see.
Best of luck.
Thanks, matey.
David Furner there speaking with Matt Adamson. There is one of the new Penrith Panther buys there, Adrian Pertell, who's playing against his former club tonight as the boys come in just after their warm-up out the back of CUA Stadium. And the Penrith Panthers have a couple of new faces in their lineup tonight as well. Adrian Pertell being one of those. A couple of former Raiders, in fact, because they will have Nigel Plum playing tonight. He will wear jumper number 20. They're just finishing their warm-up. And here is their card. No Trent Waterhouse tonight. He's out with a quad injury. That means the former Raider, Nigel Plum, will play his first game for Penrith against his former club, as too does Adrian Pertell. Travis Burns plays his first game for Penrith tonight wearing 6. Kevin Kingston is new to the club. He'll wear jumper number 9. The coach, of course, is Matthew Elliott. Matt Adamson caught up with him a short time ago.
One of the most energetic and intelligent coaches in the NRL. Some outstanding trial form, Matt, going into this game. The number 9 position's a key one. Kevin Kingston, has he settled automatically into the squad?
Mate, he's like he's been here for about 10 years, I'll be honest with you. Not only does he bring a really professional attitude and a high level of ability, just his presence amongst the boys, he's like an old-style footballer, just like yourself, bud.
And, of course, Nigel Plum comes in for the injured Trent Waterhouse, Pertell, Burns. What have they brought to your squad away from their ability that's really added to this Penrith Panthers team?
Yeah, if I had to say one thing, I'd say toughness. When you mention Plum and Burns, you know what I'm talking about with their physical toughness. But I think the experience that they also brings a toughness with professionalism. So I'm over the moon with all of them.
Matty Elliott there speaking with Matt Adamson. Joining me in commentary tonight, Gary Belcher. And Gary, pretty healthy crowd here for round 1 at CUA Stadium as the Canberra Raiders, the green machine, come out in that beloved lime green of yours. And it's a big night for them. Their away form has been awful for the last couple of years. If they want to make the 8, they've got to start winning on the road.
Yeah, both teams have to turn things around a bit. As you said, the Raiders away from home, not great. The Penrith Panthers haven't started the season. Their first game of the year in about the last 10 years. They've only won twice. So, yeah, they need to get off to a good start as well.
Well, here's Alan Tongue. What a player he's been over many years for the Canberra Raiders, leading the green machine out onto CUA Stadium. And there's plenty of green here tonight as well. The Raiders army has made the trip up from the nation's capital, and the hopes of the Canberra faithful rely on whether or not Terry Campese can start tonight.
He goes all right here. He scored a few tries against the Panthers. Of course, he is, for the Raiders, the minister of attack. It all centres around him, sometimes a little bit too much for my liking, but certainly has just grown as a player over the last couple of years, and he's the go-to man, Terry Campese. Jared Croker there, another young player with a big future.
And a famous name. There is one of the players who I've mentioned before. Whenever you speak about the greats that have played for Canberra, Meninga, Belcher, Daly, Stewart, you can just rattle them off. That bloke has to be mentioned as well. He may not have played international football, but he means as much to this Canberra Raiders club as players that you played with did in your day.
Absolutely. He reminds me a lot of the way Bradley Clyde played. Just gave every ounce of sweat and blood that he had to the game every week, and he's a wonderful player.
And here come the Penrith Panthers, their first home game of the season, of course. Their first round record has not been great in recent years. They will be hoping to turn that around tonight. Petro Sivanasiva led the players out. They have some terrific young talent, and maybe none better in the game than Michael Jennings.
Yeah, look, I'm just in awe of this guy. I think we're all in awe of his speed and his footwork and his ability to just beat a man off the mark. I think the name of the game for Penrith at times should be just create a little bit of an opportunity for him and then sit back and applaud what he does. He's a wonderful talent. Apparently been working on his speed in the off-season too, pre-season as well, so can he get any quicker?
How can you work on that speed? There is Nigel Plum. He'll be keen for a big one tonight against the former club, getting the opportunity because there is no Trent Waterhouse. And you can see a look of determination on his face. He is itching to get involved. We are already, Steve Tedrow Lyons, one of the referees in charge tonight, along with Alan Shortall, the other referee. So all is in readiness at CUA Stadium. The Panthers taking on the Canberra Raiders. Super Saturday is back, and aren't we glad it is? As the Raiders will be defending the southern or scoreboard end of CUA Stadium, and David Shillington, the Raiders' latest international, has tackled 10 out from his own line. Here's Scotty Logan. He is also a key player for Canberra. Whenever he plays well, the Raiders seem to play well also. Josh Miller takes it over the 20-metre line. 3 tackles into their set here for Canberra. They're just over 20. Shillington, his second hit up. Petro Sivanasuva around the legs. Over the top there, helping him was Tim Grant. Campese kicking early. Lachlan Cooter's back there. A big boot on him, Campese. And Coots 5. Now 10 out from his own line. And Tung leads the chase and makes the tackle with Herbert. And Cooter's pushed back. Good kick, even better chase.
Oh, great kick to Terry Campese. If you hit the ball like that for the rest of the season, he's in for a good one with the boot. Perfectly placed. It's going to have to be. You don't want to put the ball in the hands of Lachlan Coote too often.
They do have a little bit of a bruise behind them, Canberra, but it has dropped throughout the afternoon. Here's the Panthers with Grant. Their first set tonight. They're up towards the 40. Kingston goes into acting half. Cuts out Sivanasuva. Kicking from outside the 40 was Walsh, and it bounces awkwardly there in the end for Reece Robinson, the former Bronco, who's tackled 22 out from his own line. It'll be interesting to see how this downtown, or change to the downtown rule, what impact A, it has on the kicking teams, but B, on the fullbacks, Gary Belcher. And as a former international fullback, you know only too well how sometimes that staggered defensive line we used to see can be of great benefit to the fullback.
Well, it can. As a fullback, I think at times you'd prefer to have 1 or 2 players to beat and the opportunity to then take on other defenders, but as it stands with the new kick downtown rule, players, well, they'll have to basically go downfield together and they're going to form a bit of a wall, but I still think the better fullbacks, and we have some wonderful fullbacks in our competition at the moment, they'll find a way through.
Josh Miller with a little bit of a shoulder problem there for Canberra as the kick comes downfield to Coote. Much better bounce for him on this occasion, but it's been a good chase by the Canberra Raiders. 30 out from their own line. Coote will play the football. Now here's the former Raider, Pertell. And the Raider fans give him a little bit of a boot. The Panthers fans are happy to see him wearing the number 4. Kingston and acting half. Here's another former Raider, Plum.
They're very keen both sides defensively. We've seen the Panthers do it. The Raiders now just jumping off the line a little bit early. The referee's getting edgy, and I wouldn't be surprised if he blows the whistle soon.
It's short of halfway. Here's Lewis playing the football. Sivanasuva now up towards the halfway line. Last tackle here for the Panthers. Kingston and acting half. Now here's Walsh kicking. Nice bounce here for Dugan without the headgear this year. It's just a little bit strange seeing him without that headgear. I don't know whether it's the lack of headgear or he has in fact grown in the off-season, because it certainly looks a lot bigger than he was in 2009.
He does look stronger, doesn't he? Well, he and Jared Croker apparently have worn the headgear right through their junior days and decided to ditch it this year. Actually Jared Croker, he warmed up without it. He's got it on, of course. But yeah, Josh Dugan, he's a wonderful returner of the football. His metres, the amount of metres that he gets in a game is just phenomenal at times. Nearly 200 metres on average.
Harrison, terrific pass from Campese, but great defence from Plum. 5 metres into Penrith territory. Now here's Campese. Little chip over the top, bounce important. It was awkward for Coote. He did well though with the ball moving away from him and a stream of lime green jumpers coming towards him. Jennings. Just an awkward bounce here, Gary.
and he just had to wait. He couldn't get to it on the full, and just to see, and had to wait to see where it went, and then had a go at it, put his body on the line, knowing he was going to get hit pretty hard, but he did it well. The first penalty to the Penrith Panthers there, on tongue, I think, the offender around the ruck.
I think both coaches would be pretty happy with the first 5 minutes of this game. As we see, they're all in front of the referee, the Canberra Raiders. I think Canberra coach David Furner will be pleased with the composure shown by his team, and Penrith coach Matty Elliott will be pretty pleased with their defence and the way they've worked in their first couple of sets as well.
Yep, sure, and they both got to fairly good kicks and kick chases so far. There's on too many missed tackles from either side.
Here's Pritchard. Now Sivanasuva over the 40. 3 Raiders in there make the tackle. Tongues at first marker. Short side Burns. Inside the Pritchard. Good solid defence there. Scotty Logan was around the legs and making a good one-on-one tackle. Now here's another good tackle. Miller right around the legs and Tongue over the top. They're 20 metres away from the line. Now here's Walsh, ball out in front of Lewis, thought about turning it inside to Plum, bounces away from Craig and Coote dropped the ball. The offload there from Lewis, I think Coote should have taken it. As they tried to keep it alive, the Panthers, the first mistake of the night from either side.
The first attacking position they've been in, and they put the ball out wide through the hands. Luke Lewis just really ran out of options there. I think would have been better off taking the tackle. Wasn't in much of a better position than him, the fullback.
Maybe just distracted Coote by a hand of Shillington near the football, attempting to knock it down. So the Canberra Raiders, after the mistake there from Penrith, have an opportunity to work it out from their own end. Strong defence that they've come accustomed to from Lewis and Burns there.
They do this really well coming off their own end with some big forwards. Bronson Harrison now with a good bump, although there's a mistake.
There's an awful pass over the shoulder of Danny Gallier playing against his former club.
It's the first time they've really shifted the ball there, the Raiders, and they've been pretty conservative to this point, and they've come up with a mistake over the shoulder there. Just unable to take that.
Gave Gallier no opportunity there to do anything. He was going to get hit straight away.
It was a tough one. I mean, that's exactly what Dave Furner doesn't want from his team. All coaches, of course, but he's emphasised the fact they need to play at the other end of the park and not give opportunities to, as they have here with the Panthers.
Will can Penrith make them pay? That is the question. Best opportunity of the night for the Panthers. Sivanasuva picks up 10 metres and is tackled now 9 metres away from the goal line, looking for a quick play the ball. Held down by Shillington. Here's Grant. Tongue makes the tackle. Gets some assistance from Harrison as well. They're 5 metres away from the goal line. Kingston's at acting half. Now it comes to Walsh. Dummies inside to Sivanasuva, kicking, but no real chases there. Dugan tidies up. It wasn't the best of bounces for him, but I'm not sure that his outside men knew what Luke Walsh was going to do.
Oh, the problem for Luke Walsh, he knew what he was going to do, but Terry Campese defended really well. He rushed up without putting himself too far ahead of the line and just gave no option to Lewis. He looked to pass. The only option there was to either take the tackle or kick, and the kick didn't work. Josh Dugan was there to collect it.
Big blow here for the Canberra Raiders. I mentioned he had a problem with his shoulder, Josh Miller, and after 7.5 minutes, you just saw him there walking from the field with that shoulder problem. Here he is running to try and get some treatment, so that's encouraging for Canberra. But you don't like to lose one of your starting players in the first 10 minutes of any match.
You don't, but can I say it's a really good move for Sean Fenson to be put on the field. He's a young player. You can't be nervous in these situations. He's just going to get into the game early and not sit on the bench for half the game waiting.
Oh, did he drop the ball, Gordon? I think he did. The referee, Steve Tedrow Lyons, says it was a knock on. It was touch and go. Did it hit the grass?
Well, it went through the breadbasket.
It did.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I think he's saying that he didn't actually get a hand to it before it hit the ground. But look, I think every referee in the comp is going to rule that as a knock-on.
How well does Terry Campese kick the football? That was an enormous kick.
And the point was it was just out of reach. You've got to extend yourself to get to the football and make a decision. It makes it difficult.
Campese broke up. Pertell in front of him. Burns is there as well. A monster into the ground. That's the 20-metre line just in front of him. He's 5 metres in from the eastern touchline. Joel Thompson putting in for Joel Monahan. A Golf's out with a broken thumb. 18 metres out from the line. Tongue. Now here's Campese, takes the line on, and he loses the ball, and a terrific tackle around the legs from Luke Lewis. And Walsh over the top, jarring the ball free. Campese taking the line on. Time off, says Alan Shortall.
Just watch the impact here from Lewis down below. That's what knocked the football out. That's a great tackle.
You don't see it as much anymore, and the Trevor Gilman's the type chopping the legs away. How often do you see a ball come free when a bloke gets his legs chopped away?
I think we saw a couple last night, actually, but yeah, that is a perfect example of why you need a player going in low.
Well, the footy season has officially started now because Alan Tongue has got some blood.
Wait for the out, boys. Wait for the out. Don't put it in yet. Wait, I'll blow the whistle. Hold it, guys. Hold it. In you go. Out. Yours, mate.
Here's Pertell. It'll be interesting to see what happens about the 20-minute mark when the fatigue in the first game of the season may start to take over. And the interchange bench for both sides play a role.
Yeah, apart from the fact that players do start to miss tackles and we see some interchange come on, I know that's a point of the game quite often where teams, and the Raiders in particular, start to shift the footy.
Here's Kingston out of Acme half, and we start to see things like this with the hookers trying to pick up some metres and the faster players. Gordon, maybe Jennings getting in there to have a run. Here's a penalty, too slow. Fensom, Shillington, told by Alan Shortall to get up. Alan Tongue's been told now, time off, he has to go off.
Oh, for me, that's almost a dominant tackle. I know he didn't drive him back, but it's pretty dominant.
So Alan Tongue, who's in the hands of the trainer.
Will be on the edge all the time. Thanks, mate. Here's where he's going. Shorty, do you want to go back? Go. There you go.
Here's Walsh to find touch. 2-0 the penalty count.
They've been down here once, the Panthers, and lost it on second tackle. Good opportunity now to mount some defence, or some attack.
Ball up the back, dropped by Tongue. Now here's Robinson. So once again, the Panthers, that's the third time they've been down there, and they haven't really been able to mount too much pressure because they keep dropping the football.
I'm not sure if it was an offload or not. It came out like an offload. Let's see what Petro did here. Pulled in a couple of defenders like he does. No, perhaps just a fumble there. Couldn't hang on to it.
Let's find out what the latest is with Josh Miller as we get into the touchline for the first time tonight and say good evening to Matt Adamson.
Yeah, thanks. I just spoke to the Canberra bench, and Josh Miller had an AC problem there early in the game. It popped out, they popped it back in, but he's having some trouble with it. He's going in the sheds to see if he gets some treatment, to see if he'll be back.
It's a painful injury.
He's a tough boy. He might be back tonight. I wouldn't be back for a season.
Oh, but that ball's gone forward, out to the wing. He was racing away, Vito, but it was certainly forward from Herbert. We're right in line with that one. If the pass wasn't forward, they were going to score Canberra.
We were in line with it. Even my green eye says that was just floating forward there. Great option. They were compressed there, the Panthers defenders. He saw that Vito was unmarked and hit him on the chest. Unfortunately, drifted forward.
It was a good play, just the execution let them down there, Canberra, and it's put them under pressure again. We're about to see another Canberra change as well. 30 metres away from the line. Trevor Thurling may be ready to come on after just 12 minutes as Plum is tackled by Campese. And also Danny Gallier.
He's cutting that off Campese really well out wide, but yeah, if they get the ball past him, there's some space on the edge for Lachlan Coote and Michael Jennings.
20 metres away from the line, Sid Masuva will play. Here's Walsh kicking to the wing of Vito, but he doesn't have the depth. Knocking it back was Lewis. Pritchard has come up with it. Vito's wrapped him up. No, he hasn't. The ball's out the back. Through hands, and they're going to score. Alford's over in the corner. Well, how do they keep that alive? They had them wrapped up there, the Canberra Raiders. The kick wasn't a great one from Walsh, but his teammates have turned it into a fantastic one. The Panthers score first. Shane Alford, the try scorer. They lead 4-0 with a kick to come.
They were just desperate to get numbers there, weren't they, the Panthers, and a little bit keener to get hold of the football. As you said, it wasn't the perfectly placed kick there from Walsh, but tapped back very nicely, and they just kept it alive through the hands. Oh, that's a great catch and pass there from Pertell. Alford crossing for the Panthers' first 4-pointer of the season. And the Raiders have paid the price for a couple of turnovers in this area. Oh, nice ball. Well done, Frank Pritchard, Pertell and Elford. Good try, the Panthers.
Terrific work from Pritchard to keep it alive, but Pertell catching pass in one motion. And wasn't he happy, Adrian Pertell, against his former club, to see Shane Elford and score the Panthers' first try of the season 2010. And finally, after 3 opportunities down here, Penrith, they come up with some points. And Canberra took the odds to running it on the last, and they could have been down the other end of the field if the ball hadn't gone forward.
Absolutely.
It's a very small margin between success and failure. Here's Gordon, terrific goal kicker, Michael Gordon. Kicked 57 goals last season. Just to make it 6-0. Just drifting across the face of the goal. And so the score remains 4 points to 0. And a good start for the Panthers as we head down to the touchline. Matt Adamson.
Yeah, only a young player, Luke Walsh, but it showed there he's got a good head on him, because the first couple of offensive sets the Panthers have had down in that 20-metre area, they've come with a couple of errors, and he's gone to the kick on an early play there. I think it's a good tactic, maybe just trying to get everyone to settle down, because their offensive game at the moment, Penrith, is a little bit off, even though they lead.
There's the return from Grant, and the body contact there is coming in Joel Thompson. I think he missed, and the crash came from Shillington. Here's Pritchard taking it forward. 20 metres out from the Panthers line.
And dare I say it, Mark, kicking to that corner is a good ploy when you consider the Raiders have got Joel Thompson into a makeshift centre, as opposed to Joel Monahan, who's one of the best jumpers and catchers in the game. So they're missing him already.
Lewis, terrific driving tackle there made by Sean Fensom. Here's Sivanasiva, tongue around the legs and over the top there with Danny Gallier. 5 short of the halfway line. Good set here for the Panthers after scoring points. And Lachlan Coote kicks, but it's straight down the throat of Vito, but he's only 10 now, 20 out from his own line. Good chase here from Penrith. Black jumpers were up there. And Vito did well to wrestle another 7 or 8 metres up towards the 30-metre line. Thompson.
Well, I reckon the message will be out there for the Raiders to complete this set. Get to your kick. Terry Campese's got a great boot on him. Even if they kick on 4th tackle, I think it's a better option than risking it and maybe coming up with another error.
Dane Till's getting ready to come on for Canberra. He'll be on for either Shillington or Logan as Logan takes it forward. Here's tackle on the last tackle, 35 out from the Penrith line. Here's a high kick from Campese. Cooter's underneath it. Here come the chasers. It's taken a rebound, and now the ball has gone forward, has it? Robinson throws the pass, and they were oh so close. Josh Dugan came flying through. Got to get used to him without the headgear, but he had a play on it, Gary.
Oh, a good play on it too. It's almost cruel to call this an error because he got hold of it and knew that he had to get rid of it. It's 5th tackle. So no, you can't go down with it. Well, a low tackle might have forced that out.
I think the head might have forced it out.
Yeah. It's a good battle, 1-on-1. You don't see the fullbacks come head-to-head too often, but he's prepared to chase it downfield.
I don't think Lachlan Coote and Josh Dugan will ever come head-to-head, maybe head-to-waist in terms of the size difference. Josh Dugan looks about 6'4" now. Lachlan Coote's about 5'8".
I'll just give a little observation there as that kick. The ball went to Terry Campese for the kick, but Michael Gordon, the winger on that side of the field, stayed up in the line the whole time. Didn't go back at all. Didn't look like he was real keen to get back and help out.
Kevin Kingston doing well there to get a penalty. Another penalty for the Penrith Panthers, and 17 gone. The penalty count 3-0. Only 3 penalties, but all going one way, and that starts to take its toll, particularly early in the season. You have to do a little bit of extra defensive work.
Yep, sure does. When you're getting towards the end of your tackle count as well, when you give the penalties away.
Well, the Panthers have completed more sets than Canberra have had the football. As now Walsh will play it inside the 30. Tilts is on the field. Scotty Logan, the player that's come off. And Penrith now work it up towards the 20. As Grant will play. Lewis. Ball back on the inside to Plum. He's now 12 metres away from the goal line. Kingston at acting half. Now here's Walsh kicking again. Dugan's getting across the awkward bounce forward. dropout. They get a repeat set here, the Penrith Panthers.
Clever kick, isn't it? And repeat sets are the name of the game. Get some momentum going for your team. Luke Walsh, beautiful play. You don't need to come up with a try, a cut-out pass or some big play there. You roll the ball in the end goal and get the footy back for another 6 tackles. Excellent.
Here's Ken Peasy, goal line dropout. He has got the biggest drop kick in the game, 60 on the fly. Every week, week in and week out, he comes up with a ripper, and that is such a huge advantage for a team. Now Penrith, the defending, just shy, as Canberra should say, defending, just shy of their own 40-metre line, being called offside. Fenson, Sivanasiva ran straight at him and gets the penalty.
Gee, he went back with him, mate.
I thought he'd run 10.
Let me explain that. I called him out. I said, you're way in front of me, you're out. Okay. He interferes, mate. It's a simple penalty out. Okay, yeah, I called him, mate. Come back, right? You got it?
I thought he'd run there 10 metres, Petro.
Perhaps it wasn't Sean Fenson, though. It was one of the other defenders who got in the way. Gee, I think Petro got plenty of metres.
Well, here's that goal line dropout has been wasted because Penrith now on tackle number 1 following the penalty, 10 metres away from the goal line. As Petro plays it, here's Grant, flat ball from Kingston. A couple of metres away from the goal line now. Another opportunity here for the Panthers to extend the lead. Kingston dummies to Pritchard across field, back on the inside to Lewis. He's over the line, he gets the ball down. The Panthers are in again. Luke Lewis scores the try, but it was set up by Kevin Kingston. Terrific play from the acting half, and Penrith lead by 8-0 with a kick to come.
That is really good play, isn't it? Some great hit-ups. That's the key to it here. Well, there's the penalty from the Petro Sivanasiva hit-up. They have been called offside. They got into the play, waited, and the penalty, the second one in a row going there to the Panthers. What about this play dragging all the Raiders sideways, and in particular David Chillington? He's just gone too far. Look how close he gets to his the next defender outside. That was his space. He's just keen to chase across field, but in doing so, he's left a big hole back on the inside. Clever play there for Luke Lewis to go over.
Terrific year last year for Luke Lewis, despite the fact he missed a lot of football with that broken toe, I think it was, or foot injury that was a horrible injury for him, as Petro has a bit of a breather. But once again, the Canberra Raiders giving away the penalty and literally saying to the Penrith Panthers, hey, play the football game down an hour and a half.
Had plenty of fun.
And Gordon gets the first 2 points of his season. It's now 10 points to 0 as we go down to the touchline. Matt Adamson.
Yeah, I'll throw this one up to you, Gary Belcher, but of course it was a set of 6 before then when the young halfback Luke Walsh put that grubber kick through, Gary, and of course when you kick on 4th tackle as a fullback, you're not always ready for it, and it was actually a great play and enabled them to get that repeat set of 6. Of course the penalty was awarded, and then they came up with a try.
Whatever you put to me, I agree with you.
Here's Grant.
Exactly. Very good play. Yeah, it's hard. It's easy to find raps for Luke Lewis because he's just such Luke Walsh is such a smart player in the ruck there, isn't he? Clever, and I know he's a bit of a late bloomer as far as our game's concerned, but it's great to see his clever little plays around the ruck.
McKendry will play. Here's Walsh with possession now. Here is Luke Lewis. Gordon. Robinson had come in. Craig was there to make the tackle. Campese over the top. I was hoping there for a minute, Gary, we might have seen Jennings, but the pass went past Michael Jennings to Gordon.
Well, I was hoping we weren't going to see. The Raiders are down 10-0.
Here's Walsh kicking again. Here's the chase from Gordon. Awkward for Dugan, but he waited patiently. And the chase is terrific again from Penrith. He had nowhere to go, Josh Dugan. And this will tell us what the Raiders have got. Can they get out of their own end?
Yeah, good kick, isn't it? And a great chase. Oh, they're all there. They're enthusiastic. They can sense that there's some good opportunities at the moment. It's working for them, the Panthers.
Here's Campese kicking from inside the 40. Lachlan Coote across there gets a nice bounce. What a huge boot, Campese again. And the Panthers will work it out from their own end.
Alan Tongue that played the ball before that, screaming. He thought he milked a penalty for offside, and yeah, they're struggling to get a penalty. It'd be nice for them to get a bit of momentum, the Raiders, but at the moment they're doing plenty of defending.
Tim Grant coming off and Matthew Bell going on. The second interchange being made by the Penrith Panthers, and Canberra about to make their third with Trevor Thurling getting ready on the touchline. And here is Bell taking it forward over the 40-metre line. He's about 9 metres short of the halfway line. Kingston, hasn't he been good tonight? The work that he's done for Penrith out of acting half. Backing up Pritchard there. They keep it alive. Walsh, good ball here to Gordon. He's got a little bit of room. Robinson was back. Now he's forward. The ball is off the back of Robinson. Now he picks it up, and Walsh is there to make what could have been a try saver because there was no one in front of Robinson. Now the Raiders get the penalty.
There was no one in front of Robinson. Well done, Luke Walsh. But gee, they nearly got away down this side of the field. Michael Gordon trying to get the ball around the corner to his inside man. There was a couple of them there. One of them was Michael Jennings, the other one Luke Lewis. Robinson was gone if Luke Lewis wasn't there. The fullback was out of the play, and now the Raiders have coughed it up. First tackle.
Well, they've been defending for so long, and now they get the football in good field position, and they drop it on the first tackle.
Tell you what looked a bit ominous the last set for the Panthers was a great offload there from Frank Pritchard, and when he gets in that mood and he stands in tackles and it's that right arm free, their second phase is just, well, it's very hard to defend against.
Well, Danny Gallier will be looking for a hole to crawl into there. That was an awful drop ball. And even still, he's got his hands on his head, and Pritchard is straight through the tackle. He's got Kingston. The referee's over, and so too is Kingston. He's had a terrific start to the game, and the Panthers are on fire at the foot of the mountains.
Oh, the ref just wants to see himself again go over.
Steve Tedrow Lyons, get out of the way.
It's a try, Steve, we can tell you.
Kevin Kingston, he has been outstanding in the first 25 minutes. But Frank Pritchard, you warned about him starting to warm up, and they just couldn't put him to ground.
Oh, it was off the left foot, the step for a start, and then got himself into some space and threw a dummy. Here's the put down, no doubt at all.
You're breaking up the ball and cold as a spud, mate.
Well, the Raiders are unhappy underneath the post there, but I say they're creating their own problems there, and on that occasion, apart from a lost ball, their defence on the right edge on Frank Pritchard was pretty poor.
Frank Pritchard, when he's in this frame of mind, it can be very, very hard to stop.
He didn't even have to put a lot of footwork on there, did he? I thought he put a step on, but it really just straightened up and into the hole, got the defend out. Yeah, off the right foot.
Carded here. He got hit hard, Steve Lyons. Just in the back of the play there, but he really got knocked over by Craker. Not deliberately, just got in the way.
Is he all right?
He's okay. He's a tough boy.
That's why we got two of them.
He's been good, Kingston.
Oh, very good. Isn't he? Sharp around the middle of the ruck there.
Here's Gordon from right in front. That's the extra two. So it's 16 points to nil. The Panthers over Canberra. It's getting worrying here for the Raiders as we get into the touchline. Matt Adamson.
Yeah, some great offensive play by the Penrith Panthers. I said earlier they were struggling, but they've certainly found their game now. Frankie Pritchard devastating. I think the Raiders' defensive structure is a little bit too tight. And as you said, Gary Belcher, when they're sliding, they're actually getting in each other's way. News on Josh Miller, and it doesn't get any better for the Raiders. He will not be back tonight.
That's a blow to them. And the encouraging thing for Matthew Elliott there, when Frank Pritchard did make that break, he had three players to choose from to pass to. The support play was outstanding.
You get to some moments in some games where there's just a sense that you're going to make breaks, that you're going to roll through the opposition, and the Panthers are in that mode at the moment. They just know that there's some opportunities there, so they're all on their toes, they're all going forward, and whenever something happens, there's plenty of players in support. And as you said, he had options inside and out, Frank Pritchard.
Well, as we saw in Friday Night Football, and as we saw in the first game of Super Saturday, just because you open up a healthy lead doesn't mean you can coast home. So Canberra not out of this yet, but they need to show something.
And that's a great play there once again from Luke Walsh. You're right, they had a two-man overlap on that play there. Instinct says to you, let's go for it and have a go at this last tackle. It doesn't matter, we're leading by 16-0. But no, he knows they need to get to their kick chase, and that's been one of the major assets of their game so far, the Panthers. They're doing it so well.
And lifting the intensity in defence here as Stills has tackled. They're finding it hard whether to get up towards the halfway line here, Canberra. They haven't seen the football for a long time, and when they have, they've just dropped it. Here's Herbert. Back on the inside, Thurling almost making a break. Campese with the dummy. Still going. That's better from the Canberra Raiders. That's their ad-lib, ad-hoc style of play that they've really done well over the years. The ball was lost there by Harrison. Just the last pass there, but just before that, they showed when they run hard onto the football and run straight, they are making a few breaks.
Off the back of a quick play, the ball, they're always good, particularly down that side of the field. Harrison here, well, that ball's unfortunately been knocked out, but not the time yet to play catch-up footy, but they certainly need to get some points on the board soon. What they really need to do is get the opportunity to play plenty of football up at this end of the paddock. Look at the possession there. It's hard to defend against when the other teams had 60% of possession.
And 60% of the game's being played in your end as well. And it's the first half of the season.
Yeah, well, 20 sets so far the Panthers have had to the Raiders 13, and the Raiders have made a few more errors than them as well. So it's a bit of a battle for them at the moment, the Green Machine, and this team in black, they're doing it all very, very well.
Lewis, good run. 10 metres into Canberra territory. In fact, it's Nathan Smith on the field. Last tackle. Nathan Smith, of course, a former Raider. Here's Walsh putting it high. Here's a tester for Dugan. He leaps high. It's off the hands of Coote. He's got it back, Lachlan Coote, and he's going to score the try. He's over. Lachlan Coote has come from nowhere. The juggle as well, and the Canberra Raiders are in a big hole. Penrith 20, Canberra 0. The Panthers have got a kick to come.
Wow. Well, we know that Michael Jennings is quick off the mark. How about the speed off the mark here from the moment Lachlan Coote gets it? Dugan does what he has to do, the Canberra fullback, gets up and has a go, but he's blocked out there by Coote, who juggles it himself and turns and goes. And they can't stay with him. In fact, there was virtually no one in front of him. Here it is here. He's knocked it, ruled yes, backwards. I don't think it's come off of anybody there into his hands. And he's gone. Oh, super play from the young fullback. Shoulder problems last year meant that he didn't get through the whole season, but geez, he's got a massive future, Lachlan Coote.
Well, everything is going the way of the Penrith Panthers at the moment, and they are digging themselves a big hole here, the Canberra Raiders. They've had no football, and when they have had it, they just haven't held on to it. And by the set, the Penrith Panthers, as Gordon is trying to convert the try, by the set, the Penrith Panthers are growing in confidence. And when they have the attacking players they have, as Gordon adds the extra 2, that can spell real trouble for Canberra, and they're already in dire straits. 22-0, and 9.5 out from half time. And this is terrific focus here from Coote.
This young lad has put on, he's a great effort here to get here and get to the footy and attack it. We saw his counterpart do the same at the other end of the park, but he's put on 8 kilos in the off-season. You wonder, does that mean you're going to lose speed? Absolutely not. Most of that muscle.
Well, this will really test the Canberra Raiders now. David Furner. You have so much excitement, so much hype, and so much build-up to the first game of the season. And after half an hour, you're down 22-0. It must be demoralising.
Well, I reckon Dave Furner just wants to get these lads in the shed and reinforce some things that they need to do, some things that they need to change about their game. But you can't really get the message across with the trainer running on the field. It's not enough. He needs to sit them all down, get them to collect their thoughts and change the way they're playing.
You want the football. They need the football. Here's Walsh kicking short this time. Jennings chasing. Oh, Robinson, that's got to be a penalty. That is dangerous for Michael Jennings. Certainly wasn't intentional.
Yeah, fortunately he's come down all right on that. Totally unintentional. no harm done there. No one needs to go and report.
Here's Dugan. 40 metres out from the Panthers line. The last set, they kicked deeper, Penrith. On this occasion, when they're up by 22 now, they decided to do what you said last time they shouldn't, and maybe 22 points up. If they do score here, Canberra will reinforce the point you made before. Gary Robinson, the ball just a little bit low for him, but he's still able to offload to Croker. And here's an opportunity for the Canberra Raiders. They haven't been down here. Kempisi, Herberts, now straight and hard. Tills, good defence. Over the top was Nathan Smith, 10 metres away from the goal line. A little bit short to the right, Penrith, they go that way, Canberra. Here's Herbert, terrific tackle, Burns, last tackle.
Must get a repeat set.
Thompson, back to Kempisi, into the in-goal area. Jennings, they do get the repeat set.
Oh, looked going to be a little bit too big there for a moment, but it sat up nicely. Jennings had no choice but to get hold of it. That's the play, Campo, that your team needs. They need the football back, and they need to keep attacking in this zone. It's taken 33 minutes for them to get into the situation they could do just that.
And Panthers are certainly in no hurry for this goal line dropout. Lachlan Cooter's the man.
They haven't really been tested defensively down here, have they, the Panthers? At all tonight.
Here is Thurling, and Jennings has forced the ball free with a solid tackle. They didn't like it, Trevor Thurling. A little bit of frustration there from Trevor Thurling, taking it out on Michael Jennings.
Where is it? What do you got?
Nothing in the tackle at all.
The frustration from everyone in the green camp. It's just so unfortunate. A restart after another set of 6, and maybe he thinks he got clipped around the chin, but didn't look like anything wrong with it.
15, Trevor Thurling, mate. I want to make it in. Let's go.
On either side, too happy about packing the scrum.
Make sure you bind second rows, I'll call it.
Yeah, good call, ref. Let's get on with the game. No need to talk to anyone.
Here's Jennings with half a chance, and Dane Tills was the man that made the tackle. The big front rower breaking from the scrum, but Jennings, how quick off the mark is he?
They're winning 22-0, but he's hardly had the football.
He hasn't had the football.
Michael Jennings. So if they can get it to him, get him some opportunities in the next 40 minutes, it's danger time.
Smith, 5 minutes out from half-time, trying to get to his feet to play the ball, and gets the penalty. But he also didn't get to his feet with the football, Smith. You see he uses it to lever himself up, and I didn't think that was allowed either.
Jared Croker really needs to just roll away the other way. Just hanging around the legs a little bit too long there.
The Panthers only kept one team scoreless in the first half of all of last season. Who do you think it was against?
The Canberra Raiders, for sure.
Raiders in round 19. Can they start this year by keeping a team scoreless at half-time? And 5 metres away from the goal line. They've had an awful start to the season in the last 10 years, Penrith, and they've only won 2 of the last 10 in round 1. And if they lose from here, there'll be some serious questions asked by their fans. Here's a chance. Smith is there, but covering up was Croker. The chase was good. They're just doing everything right, the Penrith Panthers, and the frustration is being shown by the Canberra Raiders.
It's almost impossible to do anything but get hold of the footy and get trapped in your in goal there. It's such a clever kick there from Walsh. He goes to the line, and that means that with some players in support, they have to follow, the defenders have to follow him up. So it's left to the outside backs and the fullback to come in behind and clean it up, which is difficult when you're going sideways.
Travis.
And Travis Burns is going to be cautioned.
I know, mate, but you want something, okay? Keep him quiet. I don't want to be. We'll get through it. See, mate, you take anything goal. But listen to me. Let me get a report and just cop a sweep. All right, you come over. You've got him in the head. All right, the touch does report. It's a penalty against you. All right, clean it up, mate. Sit out there, mate.
It wasn't a huge man in this. It was certainly aggressive from Travis Burns.
Oh. Maybe went on with it a little bit too long.
Well, the referee's right there. I mean, Steve Lyons is standing over the top of the player. And the touch judges come on to report it to him. And Canberra will gratefully accept it.
Well, they need it.
Well, it's a big call, isn't it? 5 out from half-time. A goal line dropout turns into a penalty to Canberra. I mean, if they scored there, Penrith, on the back of a repeat set, gee, it's hard for Canberra. It's hard now.
It is hard. They really haven't got into any rhythm yet, the Raiders. They're looking to their right side so much time, so often they get some success on that side of the field with Herbert, Campese and Bronson Harrison, but Panthers' defence has been up to tonight.
There is Herbert. Burns is there to make the tackle. Last year for the Green Machine as it comes to Campese. A high, towering kick. Gordon is waiting for it. He's dropped it into the hands of Reece Robinson. He dropped it as well. A knock on both ways. Well, if Reece Robinson hangs on to that, they are a big chance there, Cam, because he had some support on the inside.
I thought it came backwards out of the hands here of Michael Gordon, so we'll see what's happened there. Well, maybe sideways. Pretty tough call there. Robinson's lost it.
Well, they need a break, Canberra.
Reece Robinson can just hang on to this footy and they get another set of 6.
I think that was propelled towards the opponent's goal line. So,
okay, with you?
I think. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'll go with the referee. Here's Campese, Dugan, chance here, the kick, or is it just an ordinary pass? Monahan, I should say Thompson. Surely that wasn't a kick. He dropped the ball and couldn't collect it and towed it.
I hope you're right. Let's have a look at it again. Nice sweeping play there. He has dropped it on the toe. In fact, it's hit the player in front of him. That was the problem. He was kicking it out wide. I think
Why would you do that,
towards Daniel Vita. And yeah, you're right. First tackle. I mean, that's a kind of desperation play that you don't do when you're 22-0 down. You've got a set of 6, maybe 2 sets.
2 out from half-time.
And you need points.
Well, Penrith
catch-up footy.
Penrith are now back in Canberra territory. Lewis. Walsh. Drops the ball back to Coote. What have they got here, Penrith? Last tackle. Walsh stepping. Campese's up on him quick. The ball comes out and Canberra will have one last opportunity. Putting pressure on the kicker there. The first time that Penrith really have not completed a set the way they'd like. Now they keep it alive here, Canberra. This is when they're dangerous. Herbert straight through. Good tackle there by Joseph Forlow, who's on the field. 25 metres away, Canberra. Can they finish with a try? Herbert. They need something before the break. There's a hand around the head from Kingston on Dugan. I may look at that during the week. Here's Logan looking to offload. Ball back to Campese. Now it comes to Croker. Good tackle, Jennings. Inside the 10-metre line he goes. Robinson at acting half. He decides to go himself because he saw half a gap. Pops the ball back out to Thurling. Thurling finds Campese. Campese kicks for tongue, but Burns knocks it over the dead ball line. He leapt high and saw that, well, the clock's just about up. I'll knock it dead, and that is half-time at CUA Stadium. It is the Penrith Panthers who have opened up a commanding half-time lead. They lead by 22 points to 0. What a first half for the Penrith Panthers. The Canberra Raiders have got it all to do. We will take a break here on Super Saturday and come back and look at the first half. We're underway for the second half from CUA Stadium. The Penrith Panthers leading by 22 points to 0 and defending the southern or scoreboard end in this second half. And they will have just a fair bruise at their back. It's certainly not a dominant one, but it is advantageous for the Panthers. And will they use it to their advantage in their second 40?
I think give them a good 5 or 10 minutes for the softening up period once again. I think we might see Travis Waddell come on for the Raiders and play at dummy half. Alan Tongue can slot back into the back row or at lock. And Waddell, pretty exciting in that area there if their forwards can get some dominance.
There's Dugan. So the first set of the second half for Canberra. And let's not forget the Raiders have lost Josh Miller in the first 8 minutes of the game. And that is a huge blow because he does an enormous amount of work and throws their interchange balance out as well. Thompson. Good defence.
Great hit.
Terrific tackle from McKendry. Furling. 5 short of the halfway line. Canberra's end of the field. Here's Campese kicking on an early tackle. Lachlan Coote is over there to take it on the fly and return it up to the 20 and gets hit by Croker. Terrific tackle from Jared Croker. He felt that one, Lachlan Coote, but gets straight to his feet. Gordon now. This wouldn't have tickled. Good shot.
Good shot, but he managed to stay on his feet. So, you know, he's got good balance and strength in that core area.
Burns turns the ball back on the inside to Paulo. Right on the halfway line.
The Panthers can just get back into this arm wrestle, can't they, and get good kicks away and good chase away. That's what they just need to keep doing, and there's going to become a time where the Raiders have to start pushing things again to get some points on the board, and that's when mistakes can happen.
Vito returning it straight at Coote. We talk about David Furner wanting half-time to come so he can get his players in there to have a chat. There's a scrappy play from both sides, really. There's Vito's jersey torn to shreds. They'll have to get a new one shortly. On the other side of the coin, Matty Elliott wouldn't have wanted half-time to come.
No, they were playing some good footy, but I'm sure there's something. Every coach can find something that he needs his team to improve on. But yeah,
to pick up where you left off in the first half is not always easy, as Logan is tackled.
Sure, and it can sometimes it always is a mind game, and when you're leading 22-0, you can start to play the game differently. Try to shut up shop and forget what was working for you.
There's a good kick here from the Raiders, and he's got some work to do, Elford, and he does it well to get back in the field to play. And they give away a penalty. Penrith. Elford walking off the mark.
Oh, he's trying to get up to play the football in a clear area. It's a tough one.
It's a big call. Maybe the break the Canberra Raiders are after. Can they take advantage of it, though? That's the key. Furling is tackled 8 metres away from the goal line.
They've got some good depth on the left.
And they come to the right. Thompson. Good defence here from Penrith, though. Plenty of numbers in the tackle, slowing the play the ball down. Burns involved. Tongue to Herbert. Furling.
Well, they've engaged plenty of defenders in those last couple of tackles, and now Campese looking at the left. Well, he can't get hold of the football.
They come back to the right, and Logan's over the line as he got it down. The referee's going to check upstairs with Russell Smith. Scotty Logan may get the first try of the year for Canberra. He's very close. He doesn't look overly excited, and for a front rower, he should be.
Well, maybe he didn't score, unless he got winded. It's an ugly try if he's got there, but...
Well, Russell replays Smith. That's a try.
Oh, he has scored.
That's a try.
Absolutely.
He may have injured himself in scoring at Scott Logan. That's why he's not that excited.
Yeah, there's plenty of Penrith bodies on top of him. But the arm isn't grounded there at all, and he certainly scored. That's great work, Scott Logan. Your team needed it so badly after a poor first half. Absolutely. Well, he must have injured himself because he knows he's got it over the line.
Well, he's only scored 8 tries in his career in over 150 games.
9
now. You'd think he'd be excited, and there it is, the try. Scott Logan, you could have had hundreds. You could have had thousands, Gary Belcher, for Scott Logan to be the first try scorer for Canberra in 2010. And look at him. He's not excited at all.
Well, he was 1 of 17 who was going to be the first bloke to score a try for him.
And this is the big call, the penalty.
Well, this is Alford trying to get up. He's trying to find somewhere to play the football. That is a really tough call by the referee, I believe. But the Raiders, they've capitalised, gone to the middle of the park. I thought they were setting up to go wide on the right to Campese, but just a short ball there from Tongue. You get a big bloke in this one-on-one with Travis Burns, it is. He's got a bit of help. He's just too strong, Scott Logan.
There's Campese trying to add the extra 2. It hits the upright. 22 points to 4, Penrith over Canberra. But it is a good start, and there is Scott Logan, the try scorer. The first try for the year for the Canberra Raiders, and just the 9th in a career of 152 games. And let's head down to the touchline as we watch the replay here of Scotty Logan scoring that try. Matt Adamson has a very special guest.
Yeah, got an exclusive down here on the sideline with test back rower Trent Waterhouse, and not the start the Panthers wanted, mate, but take us through your injury that pulled you out today.
Mate, I've got a bit of a quad strain. I've had a bit of niggle, mate, for a couple of weeks, but yeah, hopefully be right for next week.
It should be right for next week, definitely.
Yeah, I think so, mate. It should be right.
Mate, great start here by the Panthers. Is this something you've worked very hard for, the whole squad, during the off-season for?
Yeah, we had a great off-season, mate, and our trial form's been good, and we've taken that into the first game, which is, promising.
And what did Matty have to say at half-time?
Mate, he just said to take that ruthless attitude out there, mate. You know, we've got the foot on the throat and keep it there.
Well, thank you for your time, mate. Wish you well next week. From a Canberra Raiders point of view, David Furness said he's looking for somebody to take control of the game. He's looking for Terry Campese to be that person.
Well, they've got the start they wanted, and maybe that's the reaction from Matty Elliott. Petro Sivanasiva's been told to get ready, you're going back on. Matty Elliott doesn't want to give Canberra any opportunity at all. There's a great kick. It's on the back of 2 terrific kicks. The first time they got a penalty, and on this occasion they've pinned Penrith inside their own 10. Maybe the wheel is starting to turn here, Gary Belcher, on the back of the Canberra Raiders kicking game.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting what Matty Adamson said there. Well, there's a mistake in the play the ball from the Panthers. No, I think there was a Canberra foot in that. Yeah, just saying he needs someone to take control, and that man's Terry Campese. Well, Alan Tongue overruled him, basically. He didn't need a skipper. When they scored the try, he ignored him on the left, went to Logan, they scored. They're on the board, and now they've got a set of 6 here. Yes, there's a Canberra Raider foot tangled up in there.
But Jennings has also
still got to control it, haven't you?
Didn't come up with the ball in his possession. Could easily have been penalised.
Yeah. No, I think it's a correct ruling.
Here's the tide turning. If they go in here, Canberra, Penrith will start to get a little bit nervous. Thompson into Vito, into the corner, into some points for the Canberra Raiders. They are on their way back, 22-8. Penrith, what is happening? They're going to sleep, and Canberra is taking full toll.
The tide is turning. The Raiders there with a great shift. It's not a tsunami yet, but I tell you, a couple of more it will be. Great play out the back there to Dugan. He took it to the line. They were sliding. They had plenty of numbers there, but they just couldn't foot it with him. You see Travis Burns tries to go with him. He's outside of his man. Thompson, sorry. Great play to Vito. Well, good footy.
It's just a bit easy, really, wasn't it? From a Canberra Raiders perspective, they didn't do too much. Penrith's defence, goal line, pretty ordinary there. With a kick to come, this could be 2 converted tries the difference, and in the space of 7 minutes in this second half, after a penalty, after a good kick, and a drop ball after a good kick, the Canberra Raiders are well and truly back in it.
You know what you call ruthless, and that was the word our sideline commentator Matt Adamson said was used by coach Matt Elliott for the Panthers. Take that same ruthless attitude into the second half, but the sting's gone out of them a little bit with a few mistakes.
Important kick to make it 12 points the difference. It's 14 at the moment. Psychologically, that 12-point buffer is a little bit different. And he struck it very well. Campese, does it have the legs? It does, and they're back to within 2 converted tries. The Canberra Raiders within the first 8.5 minutes of the second half. Are we seeing yet another game in this opening round of the 2010 season that looked to be over and done with at half-time that changes in the blink of an eye?
Oh, look, I called Troy Thompson a back rower, makeshift centre earlier. I tell you, that is beautiful centre play there by him. Joel Thompson, sorry.
It was terrific work, wasn't it? For a bloke that hasn't played a lot of football there.
Let's see why they chose him in place of the injured Joel Monahan.
Here's Matty Elliott looking on. Might be a little bit concerned with their start early to the second half. Quick play the ball again. Croker upended in a solid tackle. Luke Lewis, terrific work. Logan. Ball out the back. Herbert keeping it alive here. Shillington wanted to pass it. They had 4 on 2, but he knew he just couldn't get it there. Tongue straight down the middle of the field and straight down the throat of Coote. And he's back towards the 40 before he comes towards any Canberra defence. He did well there, Lachlan Coote. And now they have reasonable field position.
They do. It was a better set defensively there by the Panthers. They stopped the Raiders in their tracks a couple of times and managed to get not a great kick away through Alan Tongue. So back to the halfway line on second tackle.
Sivanasuva. Here's Lewis. In crossfield looking to link with someone, but much better defence from Canberra on this occasion. 3 players involved in the tackle. There's no way for Lewis there to unload the football. There's Walsh. Kendry back on the angle, his tackle. About 25 out from the line. In fact, it was Bell. Here's the kick, an awkward one, and well done by Dugan. Great courage. Terrific stuff. He may have hurt himself there too. That was courageous stuff from Josh Dugan.
Well, hopefully he's just winded, but he got pinballed around there after catching that football. Some big hits on him. They're shifting wide now, Canberra, and trying to... It's a tough call, that, isn't it? Croker trying to get on the outside of Michael Jennings, who's just so quick, but he's nearly got him a couple of times.
I think he copped it to the side of the head, Dugan. Alan Tongue has come from the field, and Travis Waddell has come on. Clash of heads there with Travis Burns. What courage. So Alan Tongue is off the field. They've got a chance to run it here, Canberra. It comes to Thompson. He now kicks downfield. Not a real great chase here from the Raiders. Waddell leads the way. Coote brings it back, but those players that were with Thompson didn't really chase hard after the kick. It was almost kicking possession away. Elford tackled by Waddell. Quick play the ball. Sivanasuva. Good tackle, Scott Logan. Kingston. And here's Paulo. 10 short of the halfway line. Panthers into the field. Kingston out of acting half, picking up some easy meters, and he loses the football. He claims it was stripped, and the referee says play on. Was there a hand in there? I think there was from David Shillington. Here is Shillington. Campese. Now Herbert. Floated pass. Vito. He's got Pertell in front of him. And Burns is there to make the tackle. Canberra players thinking it was a bit high.
Yeah, they've gone up tempo, haven't they, Canberra? A bad pass out of dummy half, but they're all on their toes. All looking for the opportunity to get a quick play the ball, and that's putting Penrith under a lot of pressure. Here's
Harrison
a hole.
Back on the inside to Dugan, who just throws it away. He just threw the ball back on the inside, and there was no one there. Travis Waddell was the closest, but it was nowhere near him.
He's ruled this forward from the inside pass from Dugan. Oh, I think it's a tough call. Gee, I think that's definitely gone backwards to Penrith, and he's ended up with a football, Dugan. That's a really tough call. And Dave Ferner agrees with me.
Yeah, I thought it was backwards, but...
Well, even a non-Canberra, ex-Canberra player agrees with us.
Ready, boys, here we go. Wait for the out. Come on, boys. Don't put it in. Make sure you bind up, pull out.
So the Panthers, a little bit shaky here at the moment. They've lost that zip they had in the first half, and it's on the back of the possession, which is almost evened up. Still in favour of Penrith, but nowhere near as much as it was in the first half.
Yeah, someone needs to spark them, don't they? But someone needs to, well, and there's a lost ball
from Petro Sivanasuva in a dominant tackle. It's almost a replay of the first half with the team swapped around.
Well, it is, and possession is evening up as well. Penrith has still had a little bit more, but the error rate 9 each now. So one of the reasons why the Raiders are back in the game almost.
And the missed tackle count is evening up as well, 14 to 12 now. And there is the second half possession, which is almost mirroring. Oh, there's a high tackle. He slipped into it though. Paulo was the man. Campese come running in. I think he slipped as he came to the tackle. He did.
14 high tackle. 14 high tackle. 14. Let's get him down. Jason. There's a penalty here for 10 metres.
So these are the sorts of things that turn matches. It's been on the back of a couple of penalties that Canberra have got themselves back into the game. They weren't getting any in the first half. Here's Waddell out of acting half. 10 metres away from the goal line. Harrison, he's lost the football, knocked down by the Panthers. I thought they've come up with it. A wasted opportunity there for the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, he just needed to hang on to that one. Bronson Harrison looking for something to happen there. He got hit pretty hard. I think that's what made the football pop out. Oh, there's a hand there. Actually, that's knocked out by Travis Burns. Picked up by Coop.
I thought it was. And now Pritchard is on the field. And Luke Walsh has thrown an awful pass to Jennings. And how things can change. Michael Jennings can't believe it. It's not his fault.
I can see why Luke Walsh did it. There's a lot of space there if he could hit Jennings on the chest with some depth to get him in a one-on-one against his opposite man. But actually, he's lucky to have hit him on the toes, that one. Well, they're making it tough for themselves now, the Panthers, aren't they?
They sure are. It's amazing how it's turned. Croak up. 40 out from the line, but they still lead by 12, Penrith. 20 metres away. Waddell. Here's Herbert. Logan, nowhere through there. Sivanasiva and Pritchard were waiting for him. Two of the bigger players on the field. Shillington, Campese, Jennings missed the tackle. Craker still going, finally taken to ground. Luke Lewis with the tackle. Waddell, ball here on the outside, defensive. He's tackled there by Paulo. Last tackle here for Canberra. Herbert, they're going to run it. It's gone behind Thompson. Vito, the tackle count's restarted. A Penrith player in real trouble on the ground. It's Elford. They're one short on this right-hand side. They come that way to Harrison. He pops it on the outside to Thompson. Thompson is trying to reach out and scores the try. Elford's injured in back play. The Canberra Raiders have shown extreme patience and wonderful vision to score in the corner, and it's young Joel Thompson. They're back in it, and how, the Canberra Raiders. 22 to 14 with a kick to come.
They've made it tough for themselves, the Panthers. We've said that. They coughed up an extra set of 6 here by touching that football. Vito heard the call from the ref. Doesn't need to score. Went pretty close, but we'll have a look at that. Elford down, hurt on the ground. They've played to the short side. Defenders came in, and he's pretty strong here, isn't he, Joel Thompson? He set up the last try, and he just stayed on his feet long enough to slam the ball over in the corner. Great play there from Canberra. They put some pressure on the Panthers and come up trumps once again. That's 3 in a row. You've got to say they're back in this one,
well,
Potsy.
Elford was out of play, but they still had the numbers there, Penrith. They recovered well.
They did.
And I think Elford's going to come from the field. And there is Joel Thompson, the try scorer. And Terry Campese will have to wait to take this shot at goal, because there's Shane Elford coming from the field right in front of Campese. He's just taking his time a little bit.
It's virtually the same spot as he kicked the last one from.
This will be a major reshuffle here for Penrith. Campese. 14 unanswered points for Canberra. Is it soon to be 16? He struck it well. He struck it magnificently again, Terry Campese. They're back to within a converted try. Can you believe it? Canberra 22, Penrith 16. Elford comes from the field. Matt Adamson, what a turnaround down on the touchline for the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, amazing turnaround. I mean, Matty Elliott spoke about attitude at half-time. I spoke to Matty Elliott before the game and he mentioned that the new players to the club brought a toughness. When he talks about toughness, he's talking mental toughness, because this Penrith football team has always had a bit of a situation during games where they get in front, things come easy for them, that they switch off, and that's exactly what they've done here tonight at Penrith Park. We also know this Canberra Raiders team, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
Well, this is going to be a reshuffle with Adrian Pertell moving out on the wing as Scotty Logan now is racing away looking for a double.
He scored a try already and he just made the longest break of his career. Scotty Logan having a great game.
Up towards the halfway line.
Well, they're doing what they were told to do in the first half, the Raiders, and told, I'm sure, at half-time to control the football and play it up the other end of the park. And because they're doing that and getting a lot more footy than the other team, they're able to then take a few risks.
And another penalty. Nigel Plum penalised. Well, we saw the Cowboys come back from 24 down to almost pick the Broncos. Newcastle just held on to beat the Bulldogs after opening up a healthy lead. They have got the wobbly boot on the Penrith Panthers. They still lead by 6. But you wouldn't mind having $1 or $2 on the fact that Canberra will score in this set. Harrison.
Well, that'd be enough to switch the Panthers back on, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know whether they can switch it back on. I think they've lost all power. Herbert. Shillington. 9-10 metres away from the goal line. Waddell. Here's Fenson. Campese. Ball back on the inside. That's Thurling. Broke one. Can't get away from Plum. Couple of metres out from the goal line. Waddell out of acting half. Can he get it down? No. A wall of black jerseys in front of him. Campese. Now here's Herbert. Harrison waiting for it. Herbert takes the line on. It was easy meat for the defence. Paulo was involved.
Nicely
Pritchard there as well. So too Sivanasiva. Now here's Campese. Ball intercepted by Pertell. Now the chase is on. Here comes Vito. Pertell. They're not going to get him, are they? Vito is coming. Here comes Vito. Pertell puts it on again. And Pertell, the former Raider, goes 95 metres and may have scored the try that sinks his former club. What a turnaround. Adrian Pertell has gone 95 to give the Panthers the kiss of life.
And it's not the first time he's scored off the end of a great Terry Campese pass. Unfortunately, he read it for the opposition tonight. Beautifully done. They were trying to hit the outside man in Vito, the man who's right behind him all the way. Pertell striding, looking over the shoulder. He's had 3 looks, 4 looks. Yes, I'm going to make it. And he does just that. Have a look at him here. He reads the pass beautifully. Thanks, Campo. I'll take that. And up the other end of the park he goes, not knowing just how close they are. But he just holds his stride. Vito almost gets there, a last desperate lunge, but Pertell, they needed something to turn around this second half slump, and that's just what they wanted.
Well, if he doesn't catch that, Thompson scores.
Or Vito.
Well, Thompson would have just strolled over.
He was the man, was he?
Pertell was playing on the wing, no Elford. And I didn't think, initially he had a big gap, but Vito showed some pace to round him up because he had to turn around and chase. But then Pertell just had enough in the tank to get over. And that could be a real killer for Canberra. Has it just taken the wind out of their sails?
Well, it's a very important kick, this, isn't it? You go 12 points up, you've got a good buffer. And I still think the Raiders got points in. No doubt at all.
And when you're coming back like they were at Canberra, it's very hard, particularly conceding a try like that, to get the momentum back again. The wake-up call the Panthers maybe they're after. Here's Gordon. He's hooked it slightly, but just inside the left-hand upright. An important kick. It's back to a 12-point buffer. Canberra leading by 28 points to 16, and Matt Adamson down on the touchline. Didn't they need that, the Penny Panthers?
Oh, Potsy, you spoke about a spark, and I think that might have been the spark they need, but I'm a bit with Gary Belcher. There's still some points in this Raiders team, as you said. Had Adrian Pertell not caught that ball, the Raiders were in the corner, and we had a game. I still think we've got one in our hands with 15 minutes to go.
So you could have been forgiven for almost wanting to switch off at half-time if you're a Raiders fan, but haven't they put on a great performance in this second half? Plenty of opposition. Oh, look at that, 15 times in the second half they've been tackled in their opposition half, and then the Panthers not at all, but they have scored that one try, a full length of the field intercept.
And Alan Tongue getting ready to come back on for the Canberra Raiders.
Well, and there's Fensom, who's...
Sean Fensom's done a shoulder in back play. He's in real trouble. As now Dugan returns the football, and Dugan returns the football. And there's Sean Fensom coming from the field. He is in all sorts of trouble. Alan Tongue goes on for him. That is the 7th interchange made by Canberra. Thompson hit in the ribcage there by Burns. That hurt Thompson. The ribs were open, and that knocked the wind out of him. Ball out the back behind Vito, but he's able to gather it away from Pertell, but not away from Burns, and also Lewis. Didn't get up with the ball in his possession, could easily have been penalised. Harrison. Hopefully for Canberra, it's just one of those pinched nerve type things, a stinger on the shoulder of Fensom. That's off the head, but not played at by Pertell, and that will be a Penrith ball for mine.
He's causing him all sorts of trouble on that side of the field, Pertell, defending on the wing. He scored that intercept try, and the last twice in that set of 6, the Raiders went down that side. He jammed in off the wing that quick that they rushed the pass, and both times it went behind the winger. So he's doing his job well. Here he comes flying in. Thompson tries to get a quick ball out to Vito. It doesn't hit its mark.
Here's Plum. 40 metres away from the line. Lewis. Coote. He's 30 metres away now. Is it too early for the Panthers to be thinking about making it 13, Gary? Plum. Lewis. Now Burns straightening.
No, not really. I think it wouldn't be a bad move, would it? Although you
20
probably
metres
prefer
away.
A repeat set of 6, I'd say, is probably the preferred option.
Well, they're close enough now. Walsh is 15 out in front of the post. Will they go for the 1 point? It comes to Kingston, now to Walsh. No, they're looking for the repeat set. Jennings flying through, and Dugan has come up with it.
Just had a good game once again, hasn't he? Dugan, good play. It was a great kick there. They're hard to attack, those ones as well. When you got chasers coming through all over the place, you've just got to get in and have a crack at it, and he's picked it beautifully there, Josh Dugan.
The Cowboys were made to pay in Friday night football by not taking the opportunity at 24-all to take a point. All Penrith through the fact that they didn't take the opportunity there. Still a long way to go in Canberra. They've got more work to do than the Brisbane Broncos had to do.
And this side of the field, they think this is the area they're going to get the most value out of. They keep coming down this flank.
It's the last tackle, and they're not getting rid of the football. What are they doing there, Canberra? And they are down on troops on the bench. They're down to 2 interchange players available to go on. That there may have been the biggest player to go. Now here's a mistake, so it won't be, because Canberra have an opportunity with Dugan. Can he get away from Sivanaseva? He does. But coming from behind to make the tackle was Nathan Smith. They just can't put them away. Waddell throws a bad ball. Petro Sivanaseva was coming back onside. Alan Tongue didn't like the fact that he thought he got in the way. And Furling is tackled.
I just think he's going to break loose here at some stage, Travis Waddell, if his forwards can keep getting some big ground like that with Dane Tills. If he gets a good play the ball here, this is where Waddell loves to have a bit of a scoot. They're getting a bit tired around the ruck there, the Panthers.
There was only one marker there, but he passed, and now Herbert's thrown an awful ball at the feet there of Thompson. Vito's made the tackle on Pertell.
That's a tired pass, isn't it, from Mark Herbert? Bad option.
It was not a good ball. 11 minutes away from full time. And once you click over that 70-minute mark, it becomes an enemy of the Raiders, the clock.
Well, they did so much so well in that first 20 minutes, but the last couple of sets they've thrown a bad pass on the end and they didn't get to their kick the one before. That's why the Panthers are now playing plenty of footy up this end of the park and getting in position to either, as you said, Mark, go for the one-pointer or try to get a repeat set.
Coop up quickly without making a tackle there was Joel Thompson. Last tackle here for the Penrith Panthers, 25 metres away from the line. 20 in from his western touchline as the ball goes high from Walsh. Vito, Dugan, Thompson are all there. Vito's knocked it on, picked up by Burns, and the Panthers have the opportunity to put the game away. No Canberra player wanted it there. They must score. Pertell, can he get a double? He does. On debut for Penrith against the former club. Adrian Pertell has won the game for the Penrith Panthers.
Subject to this being a try.
His first try was 95 metres. This one was 95 centimetres.
It was. He just had to catch and spin and put it down. Referee checking there's talking about whether there was a knock-on before that. Has he got it down? Well, you'd have to say it looks like it, and if there's... Oh, would you?
2, 1, this is 2.
Well, I'm looking for an unbiased opinion here, Mark Braybrook. What are you thinking?
Well, you haven't seen him ground it yet. Mark Herbert may have saved it, but...
Well, you know, I've got to say, it looked like it didn't actually get it down. Herbert certainly held him up at that point.
I think there he's surely got it down. His chest and stomach are on the line.
Well, this is the best angle that we've got. The ball there doesn't go to ground straight away. Now when Herbert obscures it, well, it's very difficult to tell. But Herbert's right arm is underneath the football the whole way there. I'd have to say, from where I'm sitting, he didn't get it down, but of course that's what the benefit of the doubt's about.
I think Herbert as well may have been in an offside position to see whether or not... It was Russell Smith, who's our video referee, has wanted to check to see where Herbert has come from. And I believe that is suggesting that Herbert was offside and therefore can't make the tackle. He wants to see where Herbert's come from.
You think a penalty try?
See, he's offside. Clearly offside, Herbert.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, does he? Once he hits the line, is he back onside though? He's got himself back onside.
No, he's always in an offside position, never onside. I think it'll be a penalty try. If it, or benefit the doubt, it will be a try. I'm not sure.
Yeah, mate, cheers.
Adrian Pertell is busting for it to be a try, and here it is. Ref's call.
Held up, guys. Tackle 2. Take
Held up.
10. He got back in an onside position.
Well, I thought he was inside the 10 when they played the football.
Well, the rule book is going to be coming out soon.
Tackle 2. Tackle 2.
Well, they have another life, the Raiders. Another chance to stay in the match.
I would have gone and tried benefit of the doubt.
Well, it's only tackle 2 though as well, so...
How do they think about the field goal?
I reckon Matt Adamson would have gone benefit of the doubt as well. What do you think down the sideline there, Matty Adamson? Try or no try?
Oh, I didn't think it was a try. I didn't think he got the ball down, but once we looked at Herbert, he was definitely in offside position. My rule book, I've left it at home tonight or actually at the restaurant, so I can't rule on it at all.
Walsh, 10 out from the line. Here's Sivanasiva straight and hard. He's only 5 out from the line. Last tackle here for the Panthers. Will they go the field goal? No, they're going for the try of the repeat set. Walsh with the kick. Paulo's there, can't force it. It was there. It was on a platter. He didn't want it. The Raiders somehow are still alive.
He can't believe it, Joseph Paulo. He was in the perfect position. It was a tough bounce. The ball skipping along the grass there. He's just waiting for it. Here it is, look at this. Get down on it. Oh, he just can't get hold of it.
Well, they're not done with yet, Canberra, but they need to get their act into gear quickly. They need some inspiration from someone. Campese turns the ball to Thurling. 9 short of halfway. Have they got anything left here, Canberra? Waddell.
He's just got to pick when to run there, Travis Waddell.
Herbert. Here's Harrison. 40 metres out from the Panthers line. It's the last tackle. What sort of kick we're going to see here from Herbert? Into the corner. Oh, will it stay in the field of play? Somehow it does. Well, that was a miracle. How did that stay in the field of play and not go across the touchline? That was a remarkable kick. Now the awful pass, and Alan Tongue almost got his toe to it. What happened there? Nigel Plum, and there's another one from Pertell.
Well, the ref's ruled 6 again. That's come off for the Raiders, so you can see why Pertell got it. Here's this kick with a little bit of side spin on it from Herbert. He's nearly got a foot on the line there, Lachlan Coote. Oh, that pass reminded me of one that Darren Lockyer scored off in Origin. The Blues just threw it across the face.
Brett Hodgson wants you to forget it.
For him to, yeah. Well, they cleaned it up, the Panthers.
Kingston out of acting half. Well, they've tried to throw it away there, Penrith, in consecutive tackles, but somehow they've survived. Dugan over his head.
Good kick.
Terrific kick from Walsh. 10 out from the line. Not a bad chase either from the man that kicked it. It's an outstanding kick, an outstanding chase from Luke Walsh. Has there been a better player on the park than him tonight?
I don't think so. His first 40 minutes was absolutely impeccable. They lost their way a bit on the back of some mistakes, but I wouldn't put too much of that down to Luke Walsh. I think he's been fantastic.
Tills with the dummy. Waddell, Shillington, Herbert. They've got numbers here, Canberra. Dugan ran away from them. Tried to create something, but the defence of Lewis was there. Now here's Campese kicking. Cooter's across. It's an awkward bounce for him. He did well to pick that up. That was an awkward one.
Up now. Lock in.
They need to force an error here. Canberra. Shillington puts their hands in the air. The referee said shoulder. Michael Jennings may disagree. Canberra need to force an error. There's 6 minutes remaining. They trail by 2 converted tries.
It'll get a lot of pressure on the kick if they can't force the error.
Tim Grant back on for Nigel Plum for Penrith. Now Lewis with a floating pass to Gordon, who accelerates away from Campese. Kingston back on his inside. Here comes Coote. Coote has got the ball. There's the game for the Penrith Panthers. Lachlan Coote, they score the try. This time they can't be denied. And Penrith will start season 2010 with a win over the Canberra Raiders. It took a long time coming. They should have sewn it up a lot earlier, but they got there in the end.
It didn't look like the greatest pass here from Luke Lewis, but he could see the compressed Canberra defence meant there was some space out wide. Michael Gordon, he just got it, took off like a rocket, tripped over his own feet, but he found Kingston inside. What a great game he's had, and Lachlan Coote backing up beautifully for his second try of the night. That's put paid to the Canberra Raiders for the night. The Panthers, it took them a while to click into gear, but they've certainly come up with a great try to finish off Canberra's night. Well, he's a talent, this young fullback, isn't he? Didn't have a lot to do there apart from take the ball to the line, but got himself in great position for it. You wouldn't put that down to being their best 40 minutes, but certainly they've been rewarded for a great start to the game.
I think either coach will be, well, certainly the losing coach, David Furner, will not be happy with the loss, but he'll be pleased with the way his side has fought back. But lamenting the first 40 minutes, Matty Elliott will not be happy with the second half. You talk about that toughness that Matty Adamson was talking about and putting the foot on the throat. Well, they have not done that, Penrith. If they had to be a force this year, which a lot of people suggest they might be, the 22-0 up at half-time, their coach would have wanted them to go on and win a little bit more. The scoreline might suggest it's comfortable, but it hasn't been in the second half. 4 out from full time. 34-16 if this kick, not necessarily a reflection, particularly this second half. Gordon, he does add the extra 2, and it is 34 points to 16, and the majority of this crowd at CUA Stadium will go home happy. It's a long trip home for the Canberra Raiders fans. Just over 11,000 here tonight to see Penrith win their first game of the year. Canberra once again losing on the road as we go down to the touchline. Matt Adamson.
Yeah, if there's one thing that's hung over the heads of the Penrith team over the last 4 seasons is their ability to finish games off and their ability to have a great mental toughness to come away with wins in a difficult situation. And of course, if they're going to be a success this year, that's the one thing that Matty Elliott and his coaching staff really need to work on to make sure they're successful. If Luke Walsh is the best player in the field, then I think Luke Lewis is the second best.
Luke Lewis, terrific player, and the work he does defensively has been terrific as well. There is the number 7 for Penrith. Jennings hasn't had many opportunities tonight, but he's a very good footballer, Luke Lewis. There's the kick from Walsh. He's just done just about everything very professionally tonight, Luke Walsh.
Clever. Very clever player. He's got a good cool head on him. Can stick to the coach's game plan, which is always half the battle from Matt Elliott's point of view. If you've got a halfback out there that will do what you want him to do with your team, well, you're well in business. He'd be the first man that the trainers will be heading out to whenever they're trying to get a message across to their team. But he's had a great game. He's had a few teammates out there that have played well as well. But really, that turning point really was that Adrian intercept, wasn't it? The Raiders were on a roll, virtually back into the match at 22-16, and it just turned it.
And to add to Canberra's woes, of course, no Josh Miller after 7 minutes with an AC joint problem. Sean Fensom coming off with a shoulder injury. At least he's still sitting on the bench. Boys are getting a little bit restless in the last scrum of the night. There's no John Monahan for at least another month, you'd think. Maybe even longer than that, maybe 2 months with that broken thumb. And also with that Tom Leroy-Glass, a huge loss to them, the Canberra Raiders, and Joe Picker's not there as well. Justin Carney, of course, out injured as well. So
there's a bit of talent to come back.
Absolutely. Waddell out of opening half. The Panthers have got a few players missing as well. Jared Samet, Dane Laurie, not here tonight. Maurice Blair, Wade Graham. Here's a chance. They're not giving up yet. Herbert, little chip over the top. Can he get the bounce? He can. But he drops the football as he's tackled by Coote, and Gordon picks it up.
It would have been a spectacular play, wouldn't it? Herbert, the double chip. He couldn't see anyone on his right after he got regathered the first one. He had a couple of players there that might have been being shadowed by Panthers players, but a nice chip and regather over his opposite number. Looks to the left, no one there. There goes again. He got the bounce as well, but Lachlan Coote turned and chased and managed to foil him.
34-16. In the end, a comfortable win for Penrith, but a very nervous 20 to 25 minutes of the second half, where Canberra showed, as we always know, they've got some wonderful attacking ability.
Just too much of a start. It was a bit like the Cowboys last night. You give too much of a start, it's difficult to chase down.
And there it is, full time here at CUA Stadium. And it's a winning start to 2010 for the home team, the Penrith Panthers. They led it 22-0 at halftime. At full time, Penrith 34, Canberra 16.